Welcome to this week's episode of Wild Fish, Wild Places. Today, I get to show you around my home waters of Pyramid Lake and one of the greatest success stories of all times when it comes to fishing and the biggest cutthroat trout in the world. Henry David Thoreau said, "Many men go fishing all of their lives without knowing that it is not the fish they are after." Look at the size of that thing! I'm Dennis Isbister. For me, fishing has been a part of my whole life. From the time I could walk, I've been chasing fish and whatever adventures seem to follow it.
I'm Drew Murin, and since I was a little kid, my dad and I have fished all over the western United States together. And all I've wanted to do ever since was travel the world, have a little fun, and fish with my good friend Dennis.
You see that, baby? So follow along with us as we travel the remote regions of the globe
In search of wild fish,
wild places. On this episode, I get to fish with one of my good friends. It happens to be my uncle, Rodney, on this trip. One of my biggest mentors in fishing and life in general. So you're gonna see us, going back and forth, trying to figure out what these fish are doing. We haven't fished here in a few weeks, but with all of our information that we've had over the years and 60 plus years combined fishing, we'll probably try to figure something out. Getting started here at Pyramid Lake, one of the biggest questions I get from people is what color to go with throughout the day. The one thing that holds true here all the time is dark conditions, dark lure, bright conditions, bright lure. You can see we got a little bit of, we're behind the mountain here, low light conditions. We're gonna start with the crackle frog and the darker colors that we have of the new Dirty Dancers and probably a mag lip out there. We did this last time over here. We chased those fish in that 30-40 range for a while, and it was not very good. As soon as we moved into that 18 to 20, we started ripping fish. Look at that. How fast are we going? 1.2. Look at that wobble, Rod. Even at 1.2. Get him. Oh, double. I got one on too. Well, that's a good way to start the morning. Just got in the water. Oh, that one's getting hit too. Oh no, I just hit it. That didn't take long. Oh look, there's one chasing the downrigger. We're in fish. This time of year, these fish are so aggressive and so stacked up. Had one just chase the downrigger, double hook up. How's yours look, Rod? Yeah, this is not, oh, there's another one chasing mine too, look at him. See that one chasing him? That's a nice fish. Look at that. That's a good one.
Oh, you got a good one.
Yeah, I'll throw him in there.
Mine's a dink.
That's the way to start the morning. All right. Well, yours came off. There's the first one. I'll get you a good shot of this one. I think so. I was just gonna. Oh, they both came out. Barbless hooks. There we go. That's not a bad way to start the day. That fish. Yeah. There we go. About 2 minutes into the day. First thing we're gonna start off with is trolling. I mean, it's one of the most proven techniques out here for numbers and big fish. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the rods on some downriggers and a flat line out and start trolling some Dirty Dancers. So you see Rod's firing up the big motor. We're gonna actually go back around. One of the big mistakes I see people making here at Pyramid is they go along and they'll print fish and catch fish and they'll just keep going in a straight line. Makes no sense to me. If there's fish on some structure, they're there for a reason, fish them. Go back, turn around, fish those spots that make sense. Don't just go in a straight line all day. You 100 behind, Rod? Okay. I'll go 70 with this one. Oh, fish on. Come on, man. This one might be a good one, Rod. It's got good head shake. Look at that, he's taking line too. Yeah, pull that middle one in. Oh, it's up, it's up. I already got it. Yeah, look at that. Look at him. It's funny how they're just keyed in on it already, huh? Yeah, good fish. Yeah, almost. He's staying deep. One of the signs of a good fish is they stay down on you. Stay deep. Dirty Dancer, baby. Look at that fish, Rod.
That's a good one. Nice fish. It's gonna be a good day. Now these big fish, we like to keep them in the water.
I mean, I'll just lean over there.
Here, let's.
There. The lure came out perfect. Yeah. So one of the things out here at Pyramid, you want to have barbless hooks. You gotta have barbless, so you can see it just popped right out. And you want to try to protect these big fish too. You get a big old fish like this, it takes them a while. You can see it was tagged at one time too with that in the back there. But what a beautiful specimen. Look at that fish. Oh.
And now you can let me get my lure in the water.
Look at the size of that thing. I mean, that is a toad. They're loving these Dirty Dancers.
Solid 8-pound fish.
Yep. This week on the show, I'm very proud and excited to show you a little bit of my hometown where I grew up and my home fishery. And I got my good buddy Colby Frey right here standing with me because we're starting this episode off in the middle of a bunch of whiskey barrels. So tell me a little bit about your whiskey.
All right, so it's a 4-grain whiskey. Everything is grown right here on site. So the wheat, rye, barley, and corn that we use to produce all the bourbon is all grown on site, distilled right here. We call it an estate distillery. You have total control over the entire process.
Nice. And when did you start this thing up?
So we started our distillery 4 years ago. Our oldest bourbon is 3.5 years. It's gonna be ready in 6 months to bottle. It's really good.
So in 6 months, Colby and I are gonna be sitting out on that porch tasting the bourbon that's coming out of these barrels. They also make vodka, gin, everything comes from their ranch, which makes the estate distillery. It's a beautiful facility. Colby's one of the hardest working, smartest guys that I know. He's built this up. It's something to see, and one of the reasons why we're starting the show here, it's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, besides my fishing skills.
Thank you guys for coming.
No, I'll leave it out. Leave yours in. Just go. Oh, I got another one right here though. Rod, get that one. Get it, Rod. Get it. Get it. No. Oh, they're still there. There's a double. They're all good fish. Another double.
They're kind of clones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mine might be a little bigger.
I think it's not. Looks smaller to me. There it is. I need a bigger net. Take him out, show him off to the camera real quick.
Nice average fish.
Nice average fish. All right, you ready? Just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. Yeah, get a close up. Just kidding. One of the things that you got to pay attention to out here. We just changed a couple things up. Printing fish on the fish finder, dropping down low, weren't catching them, brought them back up high, took some weight off of the center line, and bam, right away started ripping fish and changed color. And over the years, one of the hottest colors at Pyramid Lake has been the chartreuse with the red dots. So that's why this plug is that color, and you can see it works really well.
They used to use the chalk line and they tie it to their hand when they were rowing the boat, so that gave it the action. And it was a spinner about this big around, a Babbitt. It was made out of kind of like a lead, and it had the leader about this big on it, maybe 3 feet, with just a yarn or something on, no bait. And that's how they fished them. And they said they caught the biggest ones were caught over on the other side of Anho Island.
Okay, so we've been doing really well fishing 25, 30 feet of water. Got a bunch of fish. Now we're gonna go in, move into 10, out to 20 off this drop off. This real sandy bay here.
Fish on in the middle, that dirty. Yeah, center rod is chained. Nah, just keep her going. Try to get another double. I don't think it's huge. Another one on the center rod right away. As soon as I put less weight and a chartreuse Dirty Dancer on there. Just right there. You want to lift it up? Good? Happy? All right. Another good deal. We got the line counter reel. I know how far back I can run with 4 ounces of weight in about 12 to 15 feet of water. It's kind of my depth that I want to hit. So I'm running it back about 70 feet.
Well, there's a lot of attractions in Fallon. There's a lot of youth activities for people that are younger. Those outdoor activities from ATVing to hunting to fishing to bird watching to just being out with their family. You can go out and just shoot a gun.
Years ago, they did some DNA testing on some fish to an old mount that was up at the lodge, and they realized it was almost identical. So they started breeding those fish for this lake specifically. And what they found out, they have a faster growing fish and a fish that's more adapt to living in warmer water conditions. They're more active when it's warm, they fight harder, and hopefully they can use this as a model for other places because it's been such a great success story. Fallon, Nevada, Sand Mountain. One of the biggest attractions we have out here. Things have changed a lot in 20 years. I used to come out here in my truck, flatten the tires, drive around. Yeah, not so much anymore. These are the happening things now.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer with the new Razor turbos. These things just tear up the terrain out here, man. It's a great time.
We're gonna go rip these things around. You're gonna let me drive, right?
God, no.
Come on.
No.
How fast do they go?
Too fast for you.
The troll bite was unbelievable. We had 25 fish in a couple hours, but we wanted to change some things up. We wanted to show you guys out there some very unconventional ways to catch these trout. We dropped in first thing this morning. Rod and I kind of put our heads together. I think this is where the fish are gonna be. They were there. About 5 minutes in, bam, bam, bam. We've got to somewhere around 25 fish. It's been about 2 hours dragging the plugs, the Dirty Dancers, changing colors a little bit. We didn't have to change a lot, but as the sun got higher, they changed up what they were liking to see. We went flatline, we went suspended, and we went tight to the bottom. We hit them all in about a 2-hour period. So now I'm gonna show you another way that I like to fish. It's probably one of my favorite ways to fish out here, running tube jigs. Right there, chasing it. Oh, we got it. Look at him chasing it. Oh, got it. Got you that time. Sandbagging. No, it's all right. Keep jigging. Go for a double. I'll get them. They fight so hard. One of the things with jigging, running these tubes, is you gotta be patient. They chase it and chase it and chase it. There he goes. Dude, look at that. I think that thing's seen some fish. We kind of Frankenstein our tubes a little bit too, with a little jig tail on the back so it swims.
We get a lot of people come up here, first-time fishermen on this lake, and it's a hard lake to figure out sometimes. And but you usually come to the bar, you come talk to people on the shore. They'll kind of help you. You don't have to be a professional to come out here fishing. There's a lot of fish out here, and it's easy to catch fish.
There he is. Yep, there he is. That didn't take long. I'm telling you, man, they got some really sexy action to them. Well, just net them, I guess. Sorry, easier. Usually with those hooks, it just pops right out just like that. There you go, fella. There's a lot of springs that are coming up out here. You can see them on the fish finder. That's what that was back there. And as you're trolling along or fishing along, you can actually see bubbles coming up. And a lot of times they hang right in those springs, but doesn't seem to be a lot of fish here yet. So might go check something else out. Surface, you know, kind of watch behind it and see, get them following it, and then send it back down again if they're not there. Look at them chasing it. Just nudged it. I'm like, oh man, so I just started wiggling it a little, and he just ate it. That's a big fish. That's the biggest fish of the day so far for sure. Beautiful, colored up. Oh yeah. That is a big old fish right there. Look at that thing. A big old gut on him. Look at that. Just a pig. All right, buddy, thank you. Nice. That was cool. Jigging. The old jig technique, it's hard to beat.
I've been fishing Pyramid Lake most of my life. Tell you now, with these Pilot Peak fish, it's just a completely different story. The fish are much more aggressive, much bigger, healthy, strong fish.
I just got ripped again, come on. There he is. Oh, I got him that time. Messing with it. Not as big.
Good one?
Nope, just a little fella. Okay. Good fish, but just a little fella. This jigging technique we got, sometimes it's on fire and you end up catching a lot, and sometimes you got to work for them, which is like kind of what we're having to do today.
There's a Churchill Arts Council here that does a lot of cultural events and brings in bands and singers and rotating art exhibits.
I love this town, and like you, I've traveled and you go lots of places, but I love this town, and I always want to bring the very, very best back that I can possibly find for our town.
That's right.
You guys are so great. The Art Center's great. The audience is great. So it's a nice synergy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you said, you always want to bring the best, and you want to be an ambassador for our little community. So I tell everybody all the time, if you're coming to Pyramid Lake, plan for a few days. These big fish don't eat every day. We'll do the exact same thing multiple days, and one day it'll be on for big fish. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, the good thing about it is that it's a lot of fun when you do catch them. Yeah, that's another good one. Look at my jig and the fish. Pull it right to him. There's another one down there. Oh, that's another big one. Another toad. Look at that thing.
It's not as big as the last one.
No, that's a good one though. Yeah, another tagged fish. Silver tube. It's bright and sunny. See the silver tag, gray tag on it too.
Pilot Peak, is that what that means?
No, if they're green, they're a pilot.
Started the lodge, the state fishing game was planting fish out here, and they were doing pretty good. They were getting fish out of Summit Lake, which is north up here. And about 8 or 9 years ago, they started putting the Pilot Peak fish in, which is the new breed in the lake. It's supposed to be from the old stock that's been here hundreds of years ago. We're getting a lot more 20-pounders. I mean, we get 20-pounders every week.
Oh, the way fun. Good fish. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a dandy. You want him over there or here?
Wherever he takes me.
Okay. Get to feel every little strike. And you know they're there. Beautiful fish.
This fish, about 6 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I'd call her, 6. Fun. Just caught one. Rod just caught a nice one, just dropped mine in, hooked one right away. It got off, another one swam up and ate it. Sometimes you don't catch quite as many jigging, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Another beauty. What we do is we just take the electric motor and we push forward real slow, about 0.8, 0.5, 0.8, and we just kind of go in and out of the ledge about 20 to 30 feet, swimming those things, bringing them up, dropping them back to the bottom, bouncing them around. There he is. That looks like a good one. Oh, that's a big netter for sure. That's a big fish. Oh yeah. Oh man, now he's pissed. That's a big one.
Head shaking ombre.
That's one of those 10s. 10 probably, looks like it to me anyway. In the water. Oh yeah, that's solid, maybe bigger. That's a big fish. I'll pull him up and let you take the hook out for me. Oh, wallowed it. Man.
Really keep it tight.
Yeah, look at that big old fish. That's quite the specimen right there. That's a big fish. Yeah, see you, buddy. Wrapping up our day here at Pyramid Lake. I mean, this time of year, it's the end of June. May and June are just crazy months for us out here. 50, 60 fish days, no problem. That's what we did today. We caught 25 or so trolling and then went to jigging and caught another 30 or 40 fish. I mean, craziness. Great day on the water. Couldn't ask for anything better.